Thank you for tuning in to this Sunday video, and today I have a great research report for you. I've taken a deep dive into Aphria, looked over a lot of financial metrics and data out there, and consolidated it into a great presentation for you guys. I will do this as quickly and efficiently as possible by taking a look at key financial metrics such as the growth, other financial metrics, I've found some for you to look out for, and institutional holdings, what's the status there, and also analyst sentiment. Alright, let's get right into it. So, growth. Look at that terrific revenue growth from 2018 to 2020. And just a reminder, when the Canadian legalization was happening, stock price was just about the same as it is right now. But look at that great revenue that we have right now. And also you can see that share dilution has not been huge. So in terms of market cap, sure, it was a bit smaller back then, but not by a lot. So some other financial metrics for you guys to keep a look out for, or you can just subscribe to me and let me follow it for you. I want to point out inventory turnover ratio here, because this was something that worried me a bit in Aphria. Now, inventory turnover ratio is calculated by taking cost of goods sold and divide that by the sort of average inventory that you have for the period. And this going down is not a good thing. It's either you sell less or you have a longer warehouse times. This is not a problem right now, and that looks fine, but this is something I will follow along for on Aphria and look out for on future quarterly earnings report and yearly earnings reports. So what about institutional holdings? And this is something that's also terrific. I have absolutely nothing to complain about here. We can see that it's only a small percentage of the float that's owned by institutions, so there's potential for a lot more buying power to come in and push the stock higher. But also, I just want to point out, because I mean this is sort of drugs related, the company. It's the same for alcohol, tobacco, weapons manufacturing, that a lot of funds, they have restrictions against buying into these types of companies. And that's why they can be a bit undervalued compared to the rest of the market. But with great revenue growth and continuing to deliver strong results, this will not be a problem. But I just want to point out there's a potential for a whole lot more buying power to come into this stock. And also here on the right you can see a list of the owners, the biggest owners. And I just brought on the first page here for you to take a look at. You can pause the video and read if you want to. I'm just going to move on to analyst sentiment. Alright, so what's the analyst sentiment for this stock? It's a strong buy. Now, I don't necessarily think that this means a lot, because they want to generate commission off of their resource report, and they will say sell or buy a lot. But in this case, what I want to focus on is that there's not a whole lot of analysts covering this stock yet. And in terms of market cap, it's not a big business either. And we can see that the trend has been that the more analysts that come in and cover the stock, then the price tends to go up and up and up. So there's a lot of more potential for future sort of research firms coming in and covering the stock and giving it a buy in their research reports. Also some about the price target here. Now you might thought this was the end of the video, but I have a bonus for you guys who stuck to the end. This is my sentiment about the stock. Well, you're welcome. What I did here to the right was that I took and made a list of sort of companies in the similar industry as Aphria, sort of this pharmaceutical business, and I listed them by market cap. And as you can see, Aphria, it's down here and they're about 5 billion market cap. And we can see that another super similar company, Canopy here, 16 billion in market cap. Is that a fair pricing? Is Canopy really 3 times better than Aphria in terms of value? I don't really think so. I think they have a lot more potential to growth. Look at this chart here to the left. We can see that back when legalization was on the table in Canada, stock price was about the same. And back then we saw a big drop after, because I mean, this huge growth didn't realize, and there were only a few sort of stores selling cannabis, and bureaucracy was slow. But this time it's all different. This time Aphria has a great revenue number to fall back on, and even if the US legalization comes right now and stocks go up huge, and then the growth that the market expected doesn't materialize, they still have great financials to fall back on. Here is another number, just to really drill the point in on why I believe that this stock is mispriced. Look at the companies. Now this is Wikipedia data, so it's not like 100% great, but in terms of revenue and market cap from that perspective, you can see that Aphria actually has more revenue than, for example, Canopy here. And still, if we go back to this slide, we can see that they have a market cap that's about 3 times smaller than Canopy. So I believe that this is a mispricing, and we also have this merger between Tilray and Aphria to look forward to, with some great synergy effects. And in general, that's a very difficult thing to price. So there's potential for very big volatility in the near term. Now, just in the short term, I believe that this company has some very good potential to have big increases in their stock. But I also believe that more mid-term, when the legalization is done in the US, we will see a drop in the stock price once again, as the growth that the market anticipated won't materialize right away. But it will not be the same as in 2018. The numbers are totally different now. This is the sector for the future. This is a long hold, and as the analysts echoed, it's a strong buy. Thank you very much for tuning into this video. I hope you found it educational, entertaining, and a good complement to your own research. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope you make a lot of money in 2021.